So the relationship between volume and intensity is really, really important to understand. Now, it's pretty simple really, but we need to look at how we can implement it into our training plan and why we would implement certain things. So obviously, the harder we train, so the higher the intensity, the less of it we can actually do. So if you're doing sprints, if you're going max pace, max effort, you might only be able to sprint for that distance for, let's just say, 50 meters or 100 meters maximum. Whereas if you're going at a very slow, easy pace, you could maybe go for 20, 30, 40 miles. And that's the difference between what you're physically able to do at a certain level of intensity. Obviously, that's a very clear cut, isn't it? When we're looking at training adaptations, what this means is we can do high intensity training and we don't need to do a lot of it to get a lot of benefit. So from a health point of view, through a week, if we could only do 2 cardio sessions from a health standpoint, it would be better to do the higher intensity sessions, such as a high intensity interval session and a tempo run, and not do the long, slow run in terms of the health benefits. However, we're training for adventurous activities, we're training to get out into the mountains, to be capable of doing more, so it's important that we do those long, slow sessions because cardiovascular system to the side, we've also got the conditioning on certain joints. You couldn't go from doing sprints weekly, doing a maximum of 3 miles, for example, to then go off and do a 40-mile hike and expect your joints to take it, with no problems whatsoever. So obviously for us, it is super important to also get those longer endurance-based sessions in because those are also going to help us with our joints. They're going to help us with actually how we move and our actual movement mechanics throughout that entire hike. If we're used to doing 2 to 3 hours of hiking and then we go on an expedition and push ourselves out to 8 hours, we're going to be in a much better position than going from sprints to those long days on expedition. And that's because our body's built up those good movement mechanics, the technique for moving across uneven terrain, building on the joints and strengthening those tendons and ligaments that are required for that outdoor activity. So it is super important to understand that actually, yes, we could absolutely hammer ourselves and do 2 high intensity sessions in the week, and that would improve our cardiovascular health a lot more than if we just did 1 long, slow run, for example, or slow hike. However, we're going to try and get all of it in because we understand the importance of the longer stuff to transfer over into what we're ultimately trying to achieve, which is get out hiking and doing amazing things, out mountain biking, out running, all the incredible stuff in the mountains.